Hello and welcome to Baring the List, an ongoing video series where I use Tier Maker, who are, I should point out, not a sponsor, but if they would like to become a sponsor, hey, get at me, Tier Maker. I use their site to rank things. Sometimes I make my own list, sometimes I use a list that I found on this website. And today we are looking at WWE Champions. That's right, sometimes it is the World Championship, sometimes it is the WWE Championship. It has some names. We are looking just from a 10-year period, from the year 2009 until the end of the year 2019. So we will not reference Drew McIntyre in this video, although he's got a weird thing. I don't know where I would put him in this ranking of S, A, B, C, or D. Um, Leave me a comment down below if you have ideas for future videos you'd like to see me do. You could even make your own on Tier Maker. You can make your own tier list and challenge me to fill it out. And that would be really fun. I'd be appreciative of that. I've made my own, but this time I am using a predetermined one here. It is not in order. I don't know what order this was. These are photos. They're good photos because you can see who it is. I also have a Wikipedia list of WWE champions as a reference because a couple of these I was like, were they a champion between the year 2009 and 2019? Because I don't remember that. We'll get to that with one of them. But we'll start with Triple H. Triple H briefly held the title in 2009, February 2009, defeating Edge in the Elimination Chamber match. And now I'm going to scroll down here. I do not believe that he held this belt again. He had a title reign, but I believe that was not this one. Yeah, so this is his only one he's had going through. Again, yeah, just making sure. Yeah. So, very brief. Held the championship here. Again, this is it's a branded belt, I believe. I can't remember. No. Okay. So it's not the Raw belt right now. This is the era where it is the SmackDown belt. It moved around a lot. Bear with me. So he only held it for a couple months. He lost it to Randy Orton. And yeah, he lost it. He got pinned. Oh, this is the match that Shane McMahon was in. And it was weird. It was like a six-man tag match where the person who pins wins. And we thought Shane might win. It was weird. He's had better title reigns. We'll put it at B. He's still in the game, but this wasn't a great title reign. In this decade, certainly not. Okay, so then we got AJ Styles. I got to scroll down here, find AJ Styles' reign. Let's look up a little information about AJ Styles, the face that runs the place. That place being a flat Earth. Okay, AJ Styles. Two championship reigns here. We got 2016 at Backlash, and it was shortened back to WWE Championship. It had some names there. Defeated Dean Ambrose, and then lost John Cena. So in January of the following year at the Rumble. He won the belt in September. In December, the title was because it was the WWE World Championship, and then the title was changed during his run. This title reign was solid and was good. Later, AJ Styles would win the belt from Jinder Mahal, and then lose to Daniel Bryan, which we'll talk about later. That particular reigns, both of those reigns. So yeah, AJ with this belt doesn't mean a lot. I'm gonna put in B. I think it's fine. I like AJ Styles' ring work well enough, but I think some of his lower title bouts meant a lot more than the Spain Championship. This is my opinion. This is all my opinion. You can let me know in the comments below what you think of my opinion. Dave Batista. Got to go back to the year 2010 for Dave Batista's reign. Sorry. Also, 2009, I should say. June 2009, Dave Batista won Extreme Rules in a steel cage match against Randy Orton. and then the title was vacated because he tore his left bicep. So he dropped the belt, and Randy Orton won the belt back, not against him, but because he had to drop the belt. Um, so that title reign was incredibly short because he basically hurt himself winning it and then had to drop it, and that's a bummer. And then in 2010, he had another pretty short reign because he won an Elimination Chamber, uh, but then he lost to John Cena at WrestleMania, so he only held it from that. So, not Batista's best run. This was a great era of Batista, though, so I am going to put this in A, not because the belt was particularly great, because Batista was great in this era. Love that era of Dave Batista. Just fantastic. Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt. So we're going to look up Bray's here. Oops, sorry. Making some noise you don't need there. You probably didn't even hear that. I think I have that muted. Okay. All right. Sorry. Bray Wyatt. Let's look for Bray Wyatt. Okay, so Bray Wyatt won this championship. February 2017, Elimination Chamber. With AJ Styles and Baron Corbin, Dean Ambrose, and The Miz. Lost at WrestleMania to Randy Orton. There was a Randy Orton feud there. And yeah, that's the only run with that title, this particular belt, for Bray Wyatt. People weren't too happy with him having the belt, and I agree with those people that felt that this was not the time to put the belt on him because he was probably not going to get an incredibly long title reign, and it was just going to hurt him. Yeah, pinning John Cena at the Rumble. Yeah. Very great. Or no, sorry, at Elimination Chamber. It was great to win. But that's not what you want. You want a long title reign. It was a bad reign, but we'll put him in B. Brock Lesnar. So this is tough because Brock Lesnar is an incredibly fighting champion. Very, very great, competitor in the ring. Has had some solid matches. We is the last title holder in 2019 into 2020, where he was defeated by Drew McIntyre. So also won it in 2014. So here's the thing. Brock Lesnar, not a fighting champion, not an active champion, not a great champion. Great matches. Certainly, there are two ways to it. Lost it, not by getting pinned, but in that great Seth Rollins cash-in. So that's incredible. But also, is it fair to be mad at Brock Lesnar for defeating Kofi Kingston and ending Kofi Kingston's winning streak? I think it is. I think it sucks that he ended Kofi's run. That Kofi lasted longer in that bout in Japan than he did as the champion. And then that ended Kofi. No more, obviously no rematch clauses, blah, blah, blah. But no program, no trying to get it back. No, Kofi's title picture run is over, which is a shame because it means that he had bad feuds and then he lost. So we are putting Brock Lesnar in the bin for that. D tier. I'm glad, he lost. I'm glad he lost the belt. I hope he doesn't get one again anytime soon. I'm sick of it. I don't like Brock Lesnar as a wrestler, and I certainly don't like him as a champion. I literally only like Brock Lesnar because it means that Paul Heyman's on the mic. That's it. Okay, so technically, Our friend Jeff Hardy, our good friend Jeff Hardy. I don't know why I said our friend Jeff Hardy. Technically, Jeff Hardy was a champion in 2009 because he had won the belt in December 2008 at Armageddon um, in a triple threat match, and then he lost it in January 29th to Edge in a disqualification match at the Royal Rumble. So Jeff had the belt briefly. Here's the thing: that's an incredibly short title reign. I'm gonna put him in C tier. That's it's a tiny title reign. Never won it again. We don't think of Jeff as a world champion, which is a shame because he is that caliber. Uh, but this will not be the only time that I put someone in C tier for having a very small title reign that is definitely not about their quality. It's just who they are. We'll get to another one. The Rock. I have to figure out when The Rock. I know The Rock won this belt, and it just. That's right. The Rock. CM Punk had initially won at the Royal Rumble in 2013. But the match was restarted by Vince McMahon due to interference by the Shield. And then The Rock won. And then The Rock lost to John Cena at WrestleMania 29 because they were doing the return. They put the belt on The Rock so that it made the match seem bigger, which it didn't need to because it was still The Rock versus John Cena. It didn't have to be for the world title. It didn't have to end Punk's title reign. The Summer of Punk. It didn't have to go out that way. The fact that Punk had won at Survivor Series in November, which is not the Summer of Punk, you know what I mean, and then lost it to The Rock, and it sucks. The Rock did not need to be a champion in 2013 or put in D tier. I like The Rock. Didn't need to be champion. Daniel Bryan. I love that this is the photo that we've got to see there with Daniel Bryan. Is Daniel Bryan with his beautiful title, his his eco-friendly title. I love that reign. Daniel Bryan in SummerSlam wins this belt in 2013 with Triple H as the guest referee, and then beats John Cena. And then Randy Orton cashes it in. So he has the belt. And then Randy Orton cashes it in on him because Triple H, who he's the referee, turns on him. And basically hands Randy the belt. It sucks. It sucks, but it's great storytelling because it begins this whole thing. And then Daniel Bryan wins it at Night of Champions, but then has to the title was then vacated because he won. And then at Hell in a Cell, Randy Orton wins. And then Daniel Bryan fights his way into winning at WrestleMania. He's got to fight it. He's got to do the match against Triple H to be able to get into the match to face it. And it's this huge, enormous, wonderful thing. And then he's hurt. And he's out. And he's out. And that's it. And then it's a beautiful title reign is over. And then Daniel Bryan beats AJ Styles in November. And it's great again. And he's a great heel champion. And the only thing that slows the momentum of this wonderful, eco-friendly, telling you like it is, you're booing him because he's saying the right things, but in a tone you don't like. Fantastic champion. It falls apart because Kofi Mania happens, and that's the only reason. But Daniel Bryan is a fantastic opponent for Kofi Kingston. They work so well together. It's beautiful. The build is beautiful, and the fact that Kofi is having the storyline of you haven't given me the opportunity. The opportunity hasn't been there. I've been waiting, and now I'm taking it. I'm going for it. And the people are behind me to go up against somebody that had a similar story. Was fantastic storytelling. I think Daniel Bryan's got another championship run in him. I think Kofi Kingston has another championship run in him. We'll talk more about Kofi as we get to Kofi, obviously. But Daniel Bryan is S tier. WrestleMania alone. beating Triple H to make it a three-way fight, winning the belt, and the go home happy WrestleMania. Beautiful. Alberto Del Rio. I forgot that Alberto Del Rio had won this championship, and I have to go look it up again because I looked at this and I was like, when did Alberto Del Rio win this? Alberto Del Rio in October 2011 in Hell in a Cell in a triple threat with CM Punk and John Cena. Alberto Del Rio wins it, and then he loses it at Survivor Series to CM Punk. I'm going to now just search here to see if he won it again at any point. No, he was involved in that. Okay, yes. He did also, he did also win it. I forgot about Alberto's previous win. He in SummerSlam, he cashed in Money in the Bank after Punk had won the belt from John Cena. That's why everyone's involved, and Cena wins it later, and it's this whole thing. Yeah, that's right. He had won. That's right. He cashed in the Money in the Bank on Punk, who was attacked by. Remember that? Remember when Kevin Nash, big sexy Kevin Nash, Diesel was just doing stuff for no reason, and they could never justify it because they never had a plan. B tier, because it's fine. Everybody wanted CM Punk to be champion. No one wanted this around. No one wanted Alberto Del Rio around for this belt. Maybe I'll put him in C tier. Yeah, we'll put him in C tier. It's not D tier because I don't hate it. But Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal has to go in D tier. Jinder Mahal is a failed experiment. Jinder Mahal is doing that thing where instead of being a heel that is saying things that you want, that you don't agree with, but you could agree with them if they were said in a different way. Jinder Mahal is saying everything right, and we are told to boo him because he is foreign. He is just playing that up. But his presentation, the look, none of his matches stood out. He was not ready for the push, but it was a push that he went for it. He went for it, and it was recognized, and they made a program. There is a way Jinder Mahal as a sympathetic babyface could have worked. Is the great American immigration story could have worked. Because his entrances just look fucking badass and cool and different. And representation is so hard for people to find that, there were so many folks that saw themselves in Jinder. And it could have been a great story, and it wasn't. And he's never going to get back there probably. Maybe someday he'll get back there. But this was a rough time for Jinder. We weren't trying to hinder the Jinder, but a lot of stuff hindered him. And then, yeah, that was AJ Styles winning before Daniel Bryan won. Also, it was very clear Randy Orton didn't want to work with Jinder Mahal because those just weren't good matches. CM Punk. A lot of shit about CM Punk. Can I put CM Punk in S tier, or do I have to put in A tier? Because it's just like Del Rio and the I'm leaving with the belt. I beat John Cena. My contract expires. I'm leaving with the belt. John Cena has the belt. We're going to talk about Rey Mysterio in a minute or two. So many conversations in that. This video is already almost 20 minutes, so we do need to maybe speed things up a little bit. But we'll put Punk in S tier. Did it fizzle? Yeah. Should he have stayed off air longer and had John Cena be the champion and have like the CM Punk chants rattle out and maybe shoot some video? They could have blown it out. Is Del Rio get involved? Bad. Is it ending with The Rock pinning him? Yeah, like that sucks. But it was still really cool. Summer Punk still ruled. Randy Orton, we're putting C tier in Randy Orton. I can't with you, Randy. Dean Ambrose never really had a great shot. They didn't really pull the trigger on him. Didn't really have solid matches. Wasn't champion for that long. Uh, his cash in on Seth Rollins was good. So that's why he's going A tier. Kofi Kingston, S tier. What do you want? What do you want from me? In hindsight, maybe we'll think it wasn't that important, but it was important. Those days were important. That build, that fighting to get there and not working out, fighting to get there and not working out, getting there, being told, oh, and you can't do this, making it so the New Day has to win these long gauntlets so that you can get placement or so you can be invited in that, and seeing that, being put in your own gauntlet situations. The fact that all this started because you weren't even supposed to be in that match. Someone got injured. Ali got injured, and that you took the spot because you were overlooked for it in the first place. Constantly be overlooked for it. The photo, the videos around the world of that win and what it meant. It's S tier. You shouldn't have lost to Brock Lesnar. It sucked. Should have had a long reign. Sucks. It just sucks. Just sucks. Edge. Edge was our first win in the year 2009. I'm going back to look at this here and see if there was anything else with Edge. I believe it's just that one win in 2009. Yes, Edge defeats Jeff Hardy in an ODQ match and then loses in the Elimination Chamber. And if I remember correctly, this might be he lost and then forced his way into the other Elimination Chamber and won that. If I'm wrong, I apologize. But that's a cool year for Edge. But this is a whatever win. Yeah, this is a C tier reign. It's nothing. This is the end of, this is leading to Edge having to retire over another title. That's right, the other title. This is not the Edge that we know and love. 2009 to 2019. Seth Rollins. Gotta go S tier with Seth Rollins. Cashed in, didn't wait for the match to be over, made it a three-way fight, pins Roman Reigns to beat Brock Lesnar. Has to, which is incredible. Let's see. Loses it to another cash-in from Dean Ambrose. Completed the trifecta in a way, which is fantastic. He wins again in Money in the Bank against Roman Reigns because he had to vacate it. Rollins had to vacate the title after winning it. He suffered an ACL. And a bunch of other stuff, too. Okay. In Ireland. So he had to vacate it. But he was a champion for most of that year. Had some very good matches. I'm going to put it down to S tier. Or A tier. Because he did... It's the second reign isn't that impressive. It also is part of the Dean Ambrose... Dean Ambrose probably should have lost the cash-in, I guess. It is a bit of a bummer. All right, we're going to pick up here. John Cena. So, should I be mad at John Cena for after somebody who we'll get to won the title in a tournament for their first WWE Championship title reign and then came out and challenged them and then won the belt off of them? Should we to then have a program with CM Punk when CM Punk returns saying, hey, I'm still the champion. I beat you. Cena puts Punk over in a great angle and is awesome. Then, after Daniel Bryan vacates the title, Cena wins it in Money in the Bank, which is weird. You would have probably liked to see maybe somebody else in that. But then, Brock Lesnar just pounds him. Defeats him pretty handedly. So he's not the champion for that long until Brock Lesnar wins. But then also it's Brock Lesnar. So I should say about Rollins, he did beat Brock Lesnar. So we should say that he beat Brock Lesnar before he had to drop the title. And that's cool. We like that here. So the reason why he's A tier. So Cena. It's a thing of not really that great of a reign. The Punk stuff was interesting. Him beating The Rock, I guess that means something. I'm not super psyched about him beating The Rock. He does lose to Triple. So here's the thing. He does the favors, right? It's John Cena, but he still does the favors. Uh, CM Punk wins and leaves as champion. His contract expiring. Uh, but then also, he drops it to Daniel Bryan to then further that storyline. And he's not a part of that storyline anymore. He loses to Bryan, and then there's the cash in. Um, and he's not part of that story again until he wins the title again after it was vacated by Daniel Bryan. He wins that to lose to Brock Lesnar. But I'm talking about this other thing that happened that is the real bummer to me. We'll just talk about it now. Rey Mysterio wins the vacated title because CM Punk beats John Cena and leaves. There is a tournament. He defeats The Miz. He becomes champion. John Cena comes out, and because he was because he was the former champion before Punk, which doesn't make much sense, he gets that. Triple H is like, yeah, you're gonna have a match against Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio loses the title that day. Why? Why couldn't Rey Mysterio have a program? Rey Mysterio and CM Punk work incredibly well together. They had a great run together, a great feud. We don't need John Cena to win that belt for Punk to unify the titles or whatever, become the undisputed champion. You put people over, so you're going in B tier. We're just going to rank Rey. I got to put Rey in C because it's a one-day title reign. I love Rey Mysterio. One-day title reign. Roman Reigns, the man that nobody wanted until we kind of wanted him. He beats Sheamus, who cashed in. Oh, that's right. Yes. So Reigns beats Dean Ambrose to win the title, and people were like, "Okay, no." And then Sheamus cashes in, and people were like, "I don't want to like that. I don't want to like that." But we do. And then Reigns wins, and then Reigns is somehow against the authority and is somehow supposed to be treated like an underdog, and Triple H beats him. I totally forgot about that. Where have I put Triple H? I'm putting you down to C tier, Triple H, because I forgot about your brief title reign in 2016. Ugh. You're champion in 2016. You should not have been, so you go down to C. Roman Reigns wins it back, and then Seth Rollins cashes in. Seth Rollins wins, and then Dean Ambrose wins. And then, yeah, we were kind of into Reigns. Now we're more into Reigns because he's just kept working, and I fully appreciate that he's like, hey, I'm immune compromised. I got kids. I'm not coming to work. I appreciate that very much. So I think towards the end we were like, okay, but everyone's kind of tough with Roman Reigns. So we're gonna put you in B tier. Sheamus cashed in and was champion. I legitimately forgot about that. That Sheamus was a champion from November till December, and Roman Reigns won it back because he cashed in. I forgot he won Money in the Bank in 2015, which feels weird. Did he have one before that? I can't remember. Yeah, Sheamus's current run. He also won the Fatal Four-Way in June of 2010, which also involved Edge and Randy Orton and John Cena. So that's pretty good for Sheamus. He won. He beat John Cena. That's right. This was the tables match. The very silly tables match. be... And then The Miz. When did The Miz win this title in this era? I literally can't remember. Gotta go over here. That's right. I'm searching the wrong tab here. Sorry. Miz. The Miz. Oh, that's right. The Miz won in November 22nd, 2010 on Raw. He cashed in the Money in the Bank after Randy Orton had beaten Wade Barrett. Remember Wade Barrett? And then he lost it to John Cena. It was a triple threat that also involved John Morrison. That's right. And it wasn't much of a triple threat because they were working together a lot to make sure that John Cena didn't win, and John Cena won. He rose above hate. This is not the title reign The Miz is thought of. Honestly, legitimately, to me anyway, I associate The Miz most commonly with the Intercontinental Championship, which he has always done really well. So we'll put him in C. And then we'll just take a look at this here, see if there's anything that we want to change or edit here on this. These are great S tiers. Let's move Batista down to B tier. It's not really an A tier one. Maybe you might disagree with me about some of these here. Yeah. It's mostly just about the title, the shortness of it, and I'm punishing a bit, and then yeah, it's not good and bad. Let's move Bray up to A tier. Bray Wyatt was great, it just wasn't a good run, but Bray Wyatt is great. So we'll put Bray Wyatt at A tier. That's the ranking. That's it. This might be the longest video I've ever done for this. It's 32 minutes. But let me know what you think. If you think that I'm being too harsh on Jinder, or you think I'm being too, like I've got like, I haven't really thought about it in long term about Kofi's run. Is Kofi's run going to be remembered as S tier? Should I be considering Brock Lesnar more than I am, and should I be putting Brock Lesnar in B tier? No, I won't. But anyway, that's my tier ranking list. Thanks so much for checking it out. And you can, in the comments, also recommend something. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next Baring the List. Bye-bye.